Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. I have a lot of little moths flying around again. They've come in through the window, and they're everywhere again. So I'm gonna have to go on some sort of moth purge to get rid of them. Life is life. I mean, they're kind of cute, but they're yay. Anyway, hopefully your day is a good one. Definitely a thumbs up. I am able to go walkies. I have done some stuff. I have to be careful. I can't walk the same way that I have been, but I've been able to go walkies, and it hurts, but I'm not doing hopefully a lot more damage, so thumbs up on that. Things are, acceptable. They're life. It's a good thing. I have some things that I want to talk about and some things that I really want to talk about, so I'm going to go real quick on this one. First, the spider report. I had worried there's spider webs back here and spiders, and I've been letting them stay because I actually like spiders. I mean, I've always been afraid of them, but now my arachnophobia is gone, but at the same time, I've always liked them. I thought they were amazing, awesome, terrible beauty. Very alien and frightening creatures, and also the arachnophobia, but the arachnophobia is gone now. I still have that human fear of creepy crawlies, but my arachnophobia is just gone. And so when there's been a mama spider and she's been protecting her egg sac, and the other day I came in and she wasn't there. Now when I come in here and turn on the light and all that, she quickly gathers up her egg sac and then hides behind the bookcase. She's been a good mama. But I didn't see her yesterday, and I was really sad that maybe one of the other spiders in the room got her. So, But then that night, yesterday night, I was getting up and moving around, and I looked up there, and she had come out and was hanging around again. And then this morning when I came out, she was back out there. So she's still alive. Her babies are still in, their eggs. But she's still there. She's being a good mama. So thumbs up on that. Just wanted to say. And my little ghost hamster, well, a ghost hamster because his name is Ghost, he's up and drinking water. I would show him off, but, he's really thirsty and he was sleeping. So I don't want to interrupt his drinking. I just squeezed his bottle to help him drink. So I'd show him off, but I don't really want to bother him because, like I said, he was sleeping. Now he's thirsty, and as soon as he's done drinking, he's going to rush back off to his nest and go back to sleep. This is his sleepy time, so... So if you can hear the water bottle, he's here, he's alive, he's doing good. I just don't want to bother him because he's thirsty. So things are happening, things are going along, things are surviving. Things are happening, I'm surviving, and that's good. Definitely a good thing to survive. And the hamster is surviving. My kitty is, I rarely see her. She comes in long enough to eat a bit of food. I'll put a can of food out, and then she'll eat like a fifth of it, and then come over and beg me for more. And it's the wet food, and I can't just open up 5 or 6 cans per feeding, or I'm going to run through a 32-can box of it in like 2 days. So she'll eat a little bit of it, and then when I don't feed her more, she's out the window and then gone. And then I don't see her until she comes back to eat again. I don't know where she goes. I don't know what she's doing. It makes me sad, but while she's here, at least I will pet her and love her and do what I can. So hopefully things are going okay with her. Yay. But I've also been doing a lot of thinking, trying to do creative thought, and I'm not spending a lot of time trying to make a alternate persona as some YouTube personalities do. There are some people that that's like when this one YouTuber called me Kevin, when he's playing his games, he's always, he's talking about being a murderer, liking to murder, and then doing horrible things to all the people in his games. He's very, very cheerful and happy, but murderous in his games. And I try not to be that way to a large degree, but there's also this other smaller thing where when I'm playing, I'll talk about how, genocide, not for political reasons. Political reasons for genocide is bad, but, just murdering human beings for pleasure just because it's fun and you don't really mind, well, that's different, The stuff like that. And I was playing the game Grim again because it's just a fun little time waster, and I was just doing something before bed, and you don't want to do a lot before bedtime to put you into fight or flight. And this is just you running around and you're changing the world dark. It starts out happy and friendly, and you're this little gnomish character. You run around and the world is turning dark around you, and the more you do in dark, the more powerful you get, the darker everything becomes, until everything is dark and grim. And they're all just retellings of fairy tales. In one of them that I'm dashing around and doing things, it changes a not happy and friendly, but it's a medieval war type situation, and they have these tall siege tower type things, and they're only like twice as tall as a human being in game terms this way, but they're these things, and they're not friendly, again, war stuff, but it's just they're made out of wood and such like that. But once you get dark enough and you walk past them, they darken, become horrific. The doors burst open and just all these half-rotted human corpses just spill out. Now, it's all cartoonish. It is not realistic in the slightest, so graphic as it is, it's not really graphic. But when I'm running along and things like that, it's always, my thought is something along the lines of, gosh, games like this, they're always trying to tell you that finding a building choked with half-rotted human corpses is a bad thing. I mean, I don't get it. So, it's sometimes entertaining to run into being just a generalized psychopath. Like in Cruelty Squad, the game I did just the past couple, yesterday and the day before, where I did some missions in the first half of it, but the second half was just saying, I'm not even going to do the missions. Let's just go explore and do some purges on these houses. And that's what I did, just explored the houses and the weird stuff inside and clearing them out. Which is all a valid way to play. So thumbs up for that. But it's different. But also, I'm trying to talk over here because one of the things that happened, I want to talk more, not happen, but talk more about creative stuff and other things. I'm going to mix this up because there's real life and non-real life mixed into here, and that's cool. But I've been thinking more about the bone-hurting juice world. And one of the things that I've been thinking about before and finally remembered to talk about was, I've mentioned before how the Commonwealth, the common culture civilization from the more western continent, they're in a bad place. If you are a developing country, a developing nation, a developing civilization, you need room and resources. They haven't had a lot of that, unfortunately. About a third of the original continent was covered with fairly inhospitable mountains, and the fairly inhospitable mountains are home to this kind of Saurian race that I haven't done a whole lot of work with, but the Commonwealth is trying to deal with them, but they deal with things by just, you overstepped your bounds when they just kill you, kill your team, dump your corpses outside the gate, and then just pretend that you weren't there. The next person can come in and they will treat you happy and friendly and talk to you just fine until you cross that line, at which point. And so they're trying to deal with that, and it's not going too wonderfully. And then there's this huge mountain range that it stretches from the inhospitable mountain range more to the north of them and just goes downward all the way down to the ocean, and it cuts off that entire section of the continent. And they don't know how to get over and past it. And so they're crushed. They have to expand. They need more but there's no room. There is a inhospitable race they're trying to deal with to the north, and then further west there is the mountain ranges, and then of course south and east is ocean. Now they don't know it, but what happened is, as I've mentioned, for this world, every 3.5 to 5.5-ish million years is a new aeon. Civilizations rise up, become more civilized, and then more technologically, and then they expand out into the galaxy, and they leave their planet, and it goes fallow, and then another thing rises up and becomes intelligent, and the whole thing starts over again. On this continent, about 500 million to 750 million years after that last cycle, one of the devices that had been kept in one of the cities by this previous civilization failed catastrophically. As stated, nobody really knows right now, but as time goes on, I've worked out in my head, they've discovered it. That mountain range is a rapidly oh God, what is the word? Eroding mountain range, because it's not of heavy duty like rock. It is just a blast mountain range. And when they get over the top, it takes up a good third to half of the continent. Because when that device went, inside the middle of it, where it went bad, it was like complete 100% matter to energy. And the shock wave of that out for about 500 miles, half burned, half melted everything else entirely. And then the huge shock wave just blew outward, melting, and with the force of the explosion pushing all those tons upon tons of melted rock and everything. Whatever couldn't melt burned, and then those ashes mixed in with the resulting melted everything, and the shock wave just blew it outward. And then of course, as things cooled out and the further from the blast, the less damage there was. And of course, with force going outward, the expenditure of force, it slows down. The shockwave mountains just rise up, and then they come to a halt. And then of course, because it's very brittle rock, I mean, it was just flash heated to absolute meltingness, and then just cools. And then, rain, weather, cool, summer, winter. It's just been falling apart. But it's still gonna be a while before they're able to get over that and discover. In the 3-ish million years since, there has been a further influx of stuff because, sterilized and melted and glassed toward the middle of it. But when something dies and it falls inside, it rots, but it leaves stuff behind, and other things can sense it. They start moving over, trying to get in. That stuff dies, more stuff left behind. Things encroach. Imagine a sidewalk where the grass is creeping in from the side. Same thing. The crater is filling in, this huge blast crater. After 3 million years, I would hope so. But yeah, there's no room for the Commonwealth civilization there to expand into because of that device that took out that much of the continent. So that's what happened there. Not radioactive. They didn't really work with radioactive stuff. I mean, these are advanced civilizations, but after 500 to 750 million years, well, things can fail. Well, 750,000? It hasn't been a billion years. It's 750,000 years, not 750 to 500 million years. 500,000 to 750,000 years after the civilization left when it blew up. So it's been 3 million years since. There we go. Hopefully I said it halfway properly. There are other things I wanted to talk about, like Amaterasu and her children. And then I just recently discovered that there's a genre of anime and such in Japan that's called isekai. And I'm, in a modified way, kind of doing that with my Minecraft Let's Plays, because you're transported to a different world, and then thing that you're watching, the anime allows you to learn about the character and the new world at the same time. And that's what I've sort of been doing. My character has been kidnapped from their home universe, brought to this Minecraft universe, and then left there to learn about the world and what they have to do to survive as they learn. So it's kind of doing that, except in a Minecraft setting. Thumbs up. Oh, itchy scalp. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments. Up to 25, but there haven't been 25 in quite some time. If I mispronounce the username, don't disrespect as intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count an American Sign Language with my memory, I mean, one day it's going to reach a functional limit, and I am getting better, but it's never going to be wonderful. Kurugali? Kurugali? Gala? Thumbs up and thank you. Stygian, greatly appreciated. Adam Hall, thumbs up, and I'm going to be doing that. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up and best of luck. Hopefully break a leg, in the old acting terms. And then XQCL, thumbs up. VFX Ninja, greatly appreciated. Johnny K, thumbs up. We have Ara, thumbs up and thank you much. There's Philip, thumbs up and thank you. And then there's Julian Frobel, who started off not so nice, and then after a little bit of talking, better. And so it was a good conversation. Then we have Stanky Man's, thumbs up. And there is Trayvon Big Dick Hopkins, thumbs up and thank you. Omar Meza, greatly appreciated. A Bizarre YouTuber, thumbs up and thank you much. We have Ben B, greatly appreciated. And Favel, thumbs up and thank you. Each and every one of you. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated, if only in text. Even though 95% of all communication is lost in a text-only thing. Still, that 5% is nice, so greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Yay! And with my hands in the air, I don't know where the text box is for the device you may be watching this on, but inside of it I have links to all of my channels, and of course links to things like my Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. And if you could become a patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have somewhere a PayPal link. And of course, there's also an Amazon wishlist link that hopefully I'll have updated by the time you watch this to make sure there's cat food on it. So thumbs up for that. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot or simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. Definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be a very good thing. Thank you so very, very much. Well, hokey smokes, it's a weekend and I'm late because I'm feeling slower in the mornings, and so I'm just rolling with it to a small degree, so thumbs up on that. Hopefully your weekend is going to be a good one. And of course, since the Covfefe bug is still raging out of control, especially here in the US, if you do not want to get sick, please wear a mask when you're outside, among others. Wash your hands often. Try not to touch your face. Maintain your social distancing. Get vaxxed if you can. Get a booster when it's available. Please, please. So until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is quite frankly a very good thing. Definitely a thumbs up in my book.